Okay people, here we go. Malignant Volume 3 from Malignant Music, the label of Marauda. And yeah, we got 10 tracks here. It is, 33 minutes in total, just over. I wasn't massive on the second one from what I remember. Don't remember actually having a track in that one, in that compilation that I was like, yes, really loved that. But the first one, Volume 1, I liked a lot. That had like Alarm Song from UK, multiple other tunes that I was like, yes. Go into this one with an open mind. It's got quite the selection of heavy dubstep musicians on display, on show, if we look through the track list here. But yeah, a new compilation from this label that has been doing quite a lot in the last kind of year or so. Loads of EPs, compilations, etc. Yeah, it's cool. It is a good label. One of the best at the moment, I think. The underground of dubstep, just right up there. So yeah, let's kick off with the opener. Versa, Risk Assessment, just over 2.5 minutes. Let's get it.
You're in a denied area. Enemy activity will be high.
People die on construction sites every day.
Oh, it's a plodder. It's a little plodder. Yeah, this is a real stomper. You know, Versa goes in with the industrial metallic clang vibe. This track is no different. This track is no different. This is the most gripping Versa track that I've heard for a while, just because a lot of the other ones from him seem to do too much of a similar thing, whereas this one has at least got a bit of a swing about it, a bit of a, you know, catchy dynamic. The dee 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 dee. It's pretty bereft of character or just something really taking it in a different direction beyond that stomping metallic flavour. Pretty straightforward, I do think, at least compared to other tracks he's put out in the recent past that have got that really one-dimensional appeal and kind of flavour about them. This one has, at least for me, got a little bit of a swing about it. But yeah, I mean, the foundation of it, quite straightforward, not a lot going on there conceptually, just following a similar kind of train of thought with his discography at the moment, which isn't a bad thing. You know, there are going to be loads of people out there who love it, but for me, just lacking an identity with this tune for the most part, beyond the whole kind of slight swing and the swagger of it. I did like the vocal samples, to be fair. That gave it a distinct character. Next up we have Blood Will Spill by Sisto. Oi, oi, oi. Does it wap 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 wap? Hey. Oh, that little bit more bite to it. I quite like this one so far, especially those kind of shimmering, vibrating sounds in the background. They're decent. Hey. It is quite straightforward still, again, as an idea, but Sisto's becoming one of the best for me at just elevating simple and making good of a straightforward idea. Oh, mate, those little... The thickness of his production, the layering, the textures that we get there. I mean, let's be honest, these are pretty simple ideas for the most part. The second drop more so than the first, which has that kind of quivering, shimmering meme within the song, the wap 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 wap. I mean, that's really good. That takes up a big part of the first drop, not quite as much as the second drop. Just a solid, chunky number again from Sisto. Any kind of new stuff from him, I'm on that, very much so. Next up, track number 3, we have Masked and Mad, first collaboration of the compilation from Mad Dubs and Vulgar. Some nice note interplay going on here in this introduction, quite cheeky. Come on. Great Milk in the chat. Big ups to Great Milk. Oi! Whap, 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 oi! I mean, again, another pretty straightforward idea for the most part. This is as down and dirty, metallic, industrial, warehouse riddim-y vibes that you get, really. But I mean, there are some fucking good sounds in here. let's not beat around the bush, alright? There are some fucking sensational little snippets and bits in this track. Now, I'm liking quite a bit. Whack, 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 whack. Like, get that. It's just like fucking getting a massive wet cloth and wringing it dry of all the water. Like squelchy as shit. Mud? Yeah, there's a good amount of awareness here from these guys working together in terms of where percussive sounds are being placed, keeping the attention of the listener, not making it too predictable. I mean, the idea, completely, predictable for the most part. It's pretty straightforward what's happening here, but certain sounds, certain bits of percussion, angled this way and that way, really keeping my attention. It is made really well as well. Let's not forget that. Let's not mask over that or skip over that in any way. It's a pretty standard, big, weighty, industrial, warehousey, riddim-y kind of tune, but some bits of elevation there to really make it good. Like the vocal samples, they are good, they are catchy, they are memorable. It's a lot of great production on show, some very good sounds on offer also. Just gonna give my hands a little click here. Constituting for the most part as a decent collaboration, not anything that I'm gonna be like, oh, I have to go back to that, but it's just pretty solid given what they're going for. Track number 4 is Second Rate by Kaifu. Big fan of Kaifu. If you follow this channel, you will know that. One of the most ambitious, adventurous, and just fantastic all-round producers that the underground is, experiencing and witnessing right now. Let's go. Oi. Oh god, that's gnarly as fuck, man. This one really sears through your brain, doesn't it? It's like a little razor just fucking chopping your head in half. TV series called Heroes, and one of the baddies was called Sylar, and he would split people's skulls by using his finger like that, and it would do like a laser thing across their head, and he'd eat their brains. And that's exactly what this yeah. Oi. Wow, okay. I just need to breathe for a second, because this is quite intense. In a good way, but fucking hell. Full pelt, no letting up, just fucking throwing at you, coming at you. Bit of a statement making track, I think. This could be a bit of an announcer for Kaifu. And then just dipping into that piano like it's nothing. I mean, fair play. Fair fucks. Gotta hand it to you. Yeah, so that was miling away for me the best in terms of invention anyway, in terms of creativity track so far. I mean, there are a couple of moments, especially in the first half, where I thought maybe it felt a little bit light on the percussion front. There wasn't like a real substance or beef beneath the track, like pushing it forward. It all felt a bit icy and kind of skeletal in a way. I don't know if I said that earlier, but not exactly empty. I wouldn't say that because there's so much going on, but there was something about it that made me think it needed a bit more oomph and a bit more beef beneath it. But besides that, yeah, just looking at a very good tune with a lot of fantastic interplay, if you will, between all the percussive sounds. There are really nice intricate bits that keep certain sections ticking along, creating good transitions and whatnot. And then just the whole idea itself with the just kind of descending down like a chopper, like a razor going through your head, really does feel quite abrasive on the ears, but still works because the idea is so good. Yeah, the sound choice is fantastic. Production for the most part really good. Generally just an amazing producer, and hopefully this acts as some kind of announcement for Kaifu, very much so, on this platform, on this label. Number 5 of 10, we have Rude by Nimda. this vocal sampling. This vocal sampling is very good. Oi. Mate, his snares are so good. Big ups into Velaudio Troy in the chat. Fuck off. Okay, he's gone for it. The scattergun. Recently, with a couple of tunes of his, he's gone on a few too many tangents and just tried to include a few too many ideas, which is fine as well. I rate that ambition, but this feels really a lot more controlled while still keeping the essence of his sound and his aesthetic and his style, which I'm a massive fan of. That vocal sample's super catchy. That's already just lodged in there, and that is really going to keep me going back to it. Someone just said peak tear out in the chat, and you know what? I kind of can't help but agree. I think that does everything that you want from his style and from tear out music overall. And generally, it's got really effective, big room, loud dubstep that doesn't go off on too many tangents and keeps it quite, controlled and effective with the progression of the tune, how it evolves as well. Doesn't go off on any weird diversions. Yeah, I've said that already, but got a great vocal sample to match. The production's fantastic, the snares are sensational, and it still just keeps and retains that really big room energy across the entire tune, never lets up, but still is manageable and digestible as a track overall. This almost feels like a pop version of a tear out track. How many avenues of appreciation it has that are quite just easy to get into and enjoy. So really, really effective stuff there. Next up at track number 6, we have Chibs. Chibi Chib Chib with bread. I like it already. What is this? Am I at the circus? What is this? Fish and Chibs. Here we go. Oi. See, someone's just said classic Chibs. I don't know if it is classic Chibs. I think classic Chibs to me is a bit more fruity and a bit more colourful and a bit more playful than this. Okay, that's a good sound. I like that a lot. Hey. Wherever this has come from, wherever this has been sampled from, or even if he made it, fucking fair play, because this is just jokes. Oh, mate, there are some absolutely sensational touches in this track. I can't unhear the moist bread. Oh my fucking god, these sounds. Yeah, someone said earlier it has a bit of a Dr. P flavour. I think it does. Loads of good with that track as well. I mean, unfortunately for me, as a few people have been saying here as well in the chat, I think the foundation of the heaviness we get, it doesn't really feel to me like proper Chibs. I mean, maybe it is like original Chibs, even before his more, colourful and cheeky and on its feet self. But yeah, this is distinctly lacking that. I mean, it does have fantastic bits like the more ravey, cyberpunky kind of sounds. They're really cool. And the introduction, fantastic as well when that comes back in for the midsection. The outro that we've just got, so good. Good vocal samples as well. But obviously the drops are the main bit because they're, the kind of focal point around which everything functions. And again, there are great bits of heaviness, really good sounds as well. But when each drop comes in, it's just got a little bit of like you just want something a little bit more inventive. And especially given what he's put out in the past as well. There are those bits to elevate it. But when each main drop comes in with that, you're just like, yeah, okay. I've kind of heard that. I've kind of heard that before, and I know that you can do stuff that is just cheekier and more outlandish than that, basically. Next up, I think we're on track number 7 now, is it? Choke by Stag. Mate, this is creepy as shit. This is actually like Saw levels of... This is fucked. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of his best tear-out tunes so far for me. Production alone makes it great. Yeah, exactly, the snare. Oh, got something in my eye. Oh, shit. Boy. Yeah, I'm just going to say, this is his best. This is his best tear-out tune so far, for me anyway. This is just, it's ticking all the boxes. It's ticking all the boxes. Just got all the manic appeal of tear out that you want, basically, but also on top of that, produced well. I think he's made, too many tunes by now in the past, in my opinion anyway. The idea's good, overall atmosphere, eeriness to go with that, fantastic. But when it comes to the heaviness, it's just got this kind of flatness and hollow metallic clang about it that really doesn't work and just doesn't complement the idea, the concept that he's going for. But this is well rounded. It's got the staggered layout in the heaviness, a dun 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 dun, which is really good, really well executed. The snare's got this icy kind of crisp execution on it that just gives it that bite, that needle to really pierce and like hit home. And yeah, it's just laid out really well. The heaviness that we get, the atmosphere built in the introduction, fantastic. So not really that much to fault it for. It's just solid. Not the most, out there idea, but I think it is consistently good across the tune when it comes to the heaviness from drop 1 to drop 2. And everything in between just gives it that body and that kind of essence and that atmosphere to really bulk it up and make it very characterful. And full of story. There's story bound up in this tune. Moving on, we have track number 8. Yes, UK from the UK Brainiac. Fucking love this guy, you all know. Let's get it. Oh, those little bubbles. Those little bubbles, those little touches. Come on. Wait. Wait. Okay. It's the details and the colour and the note placement that just makes UK's music fantastic. Unpredictable. You don't really know where it's going to go, what directions it's going to go off in. Just fun. Just good fun. Oi. It's not one of his most inventive and playful and colourful tunes, but it's still got a lot of that in there. Even his standard, like his below standard, is still pretty fucking exceptional and clever and cheeky, and I think that's exactly what we get here. Still got all that foundational UK stuff just there on lock and sounding good without being just super catchy or that memorable. It just kind of ticks along, adding and injecting little bits of colour here and there. Yeah, decent tune. Penultimately, I think we have Mr. Freeman, More Than Freeman, by Eugene. It is Eugene Morgan Freeman. Or Mr. fucking hell, Connor Whit Morgan Big ups Effin in the chat. Effin always comes through with the funnies. It's just banter on banter on banter. Effin, I think you should do a track with Eugene. I think that would work pretty well actually. Two like weighty dubstep leaning styles from different influences, No notes really, just a classic Eugene track with a bit more bounce about it, a bit more pace to it than usual. Usually it's a bit more drawn out and enduring than what we're hearing right here, but it's got a little bit of a pick-me-up. Oh, don't do me like that. Do me dirty. Oh, that's a top comment. Eugene is King Crunch. If you disagree with that, I'm going to have to evict you from the chat. I mean, if I was to tell you before going into that tune that it was a classic staple Eugene kind of cut with a bit more of a pace to it, then that's just exactly what we get there. It's got all the classic Eugene atmosphere, it's got that stodgy production but executed really cleanly, that weighty vibe and appeal just lumbering across the tune like some big, Gruffalo thingamabob, This one just had that presence and that weight throughout the whole thing that kept you locked in. Apart from maybe the beginning of the second drop where it felt a little bit empty and not quite as many sounds on show, but still good shit. Heckler and Squishy rounds off the compilation with 50 G's. Okay. Oh. 50 G's round my neck. Haha, shit. Gotta watch those 50 G's, son. Haha, shit. Oh, mate, some of these sounds are demonic as shit. Yes. Okay. The second drop there really did, grab me and grip me and have me locked in. Yeah, I mean, not the most enthralling tune to finish this compilation off with, but still a good tune. There were some really good sounds in both drops, I think. I was just saying that the first one felt a little bit more convoluted, a little bit more directionless, I suppose. Didn't quite know where it was going, but that really picked up in the second drop. I might be completely remembering that wrong, by the way, and the exact same thing, happens in both drops. But the second one seemed to rub off on me a lot more. Maybe that was my brain just getting used to the first drop that was being replicated in the second drop. I don't know. But what I do know is that second drop, yes, it was good. Decent enough, I think, to end the compilation with, given what we had before in the compilation, which I think is a selection of doing simple ideas pretty well for the most part. There's not loads of invention here. It kind of sits in the middle of the mad invention, I think, from what I remember, that we got on Volume 1. And then Volume 2, which for me was a little bit stale with the ideas and not amazing on the production. But here we've got a lot of great production and not that many inventive ideas, but those simple ideas that we do get are done very, very well, executed very, very well. So it kind of sits in the middle for me between 1 and 2, does number 3. I don't think one that will be quite one of the best of the year, but just a lot of pretty straightforward ideas here are being done very, very well. And there's enough of it not being done well when we're talking about these kinds of dubstep, heavy, metallic bass music. So yeah, there we go. That's going to be it for my thoughts on that one. Malignant, Volume 3.